Guys, welcome back, and we've got Sam here with us again. We done a previous video with Sam on his driver fit.
That was a blast.
Unbelievable results. We love doing that one, and I think it really showcased the improvements that people can make from some sort of homemade fixes to the your own equipment to some maybe slightly more technical, effective fixes that we can do.
The full spectrum of what can be done.
That's exactly right. So while we have Sam, what we really want to touch base on is kind of the top end of the bag.
Yep.
The long game fit. So we've done driver, and we can ask Sam if he didn't mind looking in at the long irons, because you're a 20 index right now, Sam. By the end of this year, you're probably going to be about 12 if you can hit the driver like you were. The long irons are not easy. They're not easy for anyone, but especially for higher handicaps.
Yeah, I find all my my long irons and my long clubs in general, I have that giant fade.
Yeah, you fight
so
that
I
a
lose
little bit.
distance on it, yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
And is there a club that you rely on then when you kind of go, okay, I'm X yardage out, I've got to hit some long second shot. Is there a club in the bag that you go, okay, I can know I'm going to make a decent swing with this one?
It's usually my 4-iron.
Quite comfortable with 4-iron?
I'm pretty comfortable with my 4-iron. I do have a 3 hybrid that I do use, but I find that it's not as controllable.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but
there's
a little bit more dispersion there. So if I'm looking at a tighter area to land the ball, I always go with my iron.
And that's actually a good point to bring up, because when you're a bit shorter off the tee, that go-to club to knock it down the fairway, get it close to the green on a long par 4, and then try to make par.
Yeah.
Like, you hit a lot of those, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people in that handicap range do the same thing. Really long holes, or maybe they didn't hit a good drive. What's that club that they go to knock it up there a little further? That'd be a great addition for your bag. Is something you can really count on for that.
Okay, I mean, that's a really good point, because we're looking at long iron. Like Sam, every tee box you step on, you've got one stroke in your pocket right now, right? For your index, you've got one shot. So if we can get you off the tee well, your second shot's really good. We can get you around that green in 2, if not on. You're going to be pretty tough man to beat on the golf course.
You just work on your short game. You'd really could drop your score really fast with that combination. Okay,
so we've taken care of the driver, and let's have a look at the long irons here. So we've got you hitting a 4-iron. What's your normal yardage, Sam?
Anywhere from 185 to 195, I would say.
Great. Okay, perfect. Yeah. That's a nice strong 4-iron.
For sure, yeah.
Okay. Let's take a little look. So we've got some Mizuno MP54s. We've got Nippon 950s in there, so really, really good quality.
Yep.
Lightweight shaft, little bit softer tip section designed to launch it up. So, I'm liking what I'm seeing in your hands right now, equipment-wise. You've got MP54, which was a really good iron. I mean, Mizuno's are phenomenal irons. This one has an undercut cavity in there, slightly wider. So the undercut cavity produces a little bit lower center of gravity, produces a little bit more ball speed. Everything that's conducive to hitting a good long iron.
Right.
So let's take a look at it, Sam, and see what's going on. Good stuff, Sam. Okay, that's good. That's five kind of different ones. A couple of well-struck ones that went left, and then a couple of kind of slightly toey ones that were a bit shorter, but online.
Yeah, and from the golf we played, I've seen you smoke tons of great shots with it, but I've also seen you hit some that you really kind of got let down on in terms of forgiveness. So probably a really good room for improvement opportunity would be finding some less disparity between kind of the worst shot and the best shot. I guess that's kind of where the long iron is the most limited. So you can obviously hit a great long iron. He's more than capable, but in terms of making a good score, I mean, the opportunity to make your miss hits better, I guess, is where a hybrid would be a benefit.
I think that's exactly right. You know, if we look at, you know, Sam is going to pull that club from 190 yards, and 2 times he's going to hit it pin high but left. 3 times he's going to hit it straight but short.
Yeah, so Sammy, that's not uncommon, right? So if
that's what happens.
Smoke a few, miss hit a few, and if there's water short, now you're starting to add up strokes on that where he's just not getting away with a miss hit. I think that's the main thing.
Okay. As we say, this is exactly it. You know, this is where you've got the drive and play, good, you know, decent sized par 4, and you've got 190 to go, or even a par 3. I mean, I think that's one thing. Sam, you were mentioning, you know, you quite like to play, you know, back a few tee boxes, you know, certainly 6,700 yards.
Yeah, that's normally
anything over 6 is a good length course for a higher handicap player. So we've played some rounds, you know, at that sort of 63, 65 range, and you get a lot of these shots into the greens, right? That kind of 180 to 200 yard range. You know,
that's exactly it. Second shots, par 3s, you know, that type of thing. So, all right, let's take a little look at a hybrid that might be more consistent. That's the biggest thing, Sam. We're looking for that 190 yardage to be achieved just a little more often. Okay? Right, let's grab a few. All right, Sam, good job. So we jumped into a hybrid there. We popped together a combination that is going to replace, we think, your 4-iron.
Yes.
But we've done something a little bit different, and this will be interesting for you guys to see what it actually is we've done. We've not grabbed a 4 hybrid.
No.
We've grabbed actually a 5 hybrid. The Mizuno are one of the companies with slightly more traditional lofts. So the 6-iron at 30, the 5-iron at 27, and the 4-iron is more like 24. This is a 24-degree hybrid.
So that's a big, the reason I asked you just to go over this is that 5 hybrid does not always replace a 5-iron. In fact, it almost never does, because they will go further. They have less loft and longer shaft.
And you know, nowadays with the stronger lofted irons, they can match up a little more. But you know, Sam's brought us a set of Mizunos with traditional loft, so you can't go 4 to 4. So we had to go 4 to 5.
Interesting.
So 4-iron to 5 hybrid to achieve the same loft. So we're playing on the same playing field.
So we need to make sure that if you're playing a strong lofted set, be aware of those lofts versus a traditional lofted set.
Know what the lofts are, and that's exactly it. So. We know that a hybrid, what it brings, you know, the lower profile head, the wider sole, higher launch, more forgiveness. You know, we wanted to try a hybrid here that we've been really impressed with since we've had it in the last few weeks, is the new Callaway Rogue.
The new Rogue. And we've been talking about testing it out and wanting to see how forgiving it is and stuff like that.
This gave us a great opportunity to do
that,
didn't it?
Yeah.
So let's run through the numbers here, Sam. And we had, with your one, your average 4-iron with a bit of a kind of wide dispersion was averaging about 175, okay, and it was going, about 165 in the air. Let's get a run through the club delivery. Club head speed was a little bit higher with the hybrid, slightly longer shaft.
Yep.
You know, so that's one way we can produce a little bit more consistent speed.
And how much longer would the shaft in that be versus the 4 iron?
Sam's 4 iron is 38.5.
Okay.
This club is 39.5.
Right. So,
there's
full inch.
There's an inch. There's
Gotcha.
an inch, right? So, and I'm, you know, kind of like from the driver videos we done with Sam, I'm not afraid of Sam using a fractionally longer club in this part of the bag, because the longer the club, generally speaking, gets the club head tracking behind the handle.
Right.
Makes it easier to swing from the inside.
Okay.
Which is kind of much more of the shape we're trying to get from Sam's swing.
And you've done the complete opposite in another video with Mike. You wanted to get him more upright, and you gave him a shorter shaft.
Correct.
So this
It's
is another way to
same theory.
Same theory, yeah.
Because we went shorter to try and get the club out in front.
Yep.
With Sam, we're going longer to
Interesting.
keep it more behind.
So the length of the shaft you can use to influence the plane of the swing. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a little look at the numbers here and see what we got. I mean, this is really interesting because the average carry in the 4-iron was just inconsistent. You know, 144, 151, 182, 134, which we have disabled because
that one's not.
It was from a ball speed standpoint, it was not really in keeping with the rest.
It's a big miss, yeah.
Yeah. So we take that one out, but it's quite similar. The 120, the 118. Sam just done it more often with the hybrid.
So 2 really good shots, and then mixed in a few that were a little heavy. So that's the ones I wanted to focus on. He did hit a couple a little heavy with the hybrid, and they ended up flying like 170 versus going 140. So there's a miss that, Sam, you hit some shots heavy sometimes with the long iron.
Yeah.
You take that other shot on the course, you're in a lot of trouble. Take the hybrid on the course, and he's only losing 10, 15 yards.
That's exactly.
He's getting away with a miss, 10 times better than before.
The penalty is less severe, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we discussed with Sam there the heavy strike, the mat may protect the heavy strike a little bit, but in the summertime here, in Ontario, those fairways get pretty firm.
Yeah.
You're going to get the same protection on a firm fairway. You're just not going to get it in a soft fairway.
No.
Okay, so.
But also he was getting that same forgiveness from the mat with the iron, and he still lost a lot more yardage. So I think it would still be kind of an equal factor on real turf.
It's definitely worth chatting about. So, looking at the height, much higher, Sam. One of the traits, and you can maybe talk to this, Sam, when you're on the range, right, and you're playing with Matt. You guys are warming up before you're going to go and play your round, and he pulls out a 3 or 4 iron and starts hitting it. What's the one thing you admire about it?
The ball flight.
The ball flight, and it just because it's high.
It's high and long.
It looks long. It's great. Okay, that is now you have the equalizer in your hands because now you can do the exact same thing. Okay, so regardless of what the club is, you now have the ability to hit that nice long high. Long iron, but you just do it with a hybrid.
Yeah.
When back in the kind of probably 70s, early 80s, there was a few guys who could really only hit their long irons like that. Tom Weiskopf was one. Jack Nicklaus was another. Tom Watson was another.
Yep.
And Sandy Lyle was the fourth. And they were really considered to be the 4 guys who could hit their long irons different from everyone else, with blades and the old style ball and all the rest of it. When the evolution of club fitting sort of kicked in, and club design, maybe more club design, lowering the centre of gravity and the style of clubs, it made that playing field much more even. And I remember Sandy Lyle saying when they'd done that, they took away his advantage.
They did a bit, yeah. With 7 wood and 9 wood and stuff like that.
That's it, making lofted woods, making, perimeter weighted irons, ping I2, weight low in the head, white sole a little wider. They took that advantage away, and those 4 guys really saw that as a skill set that they had to acquire. Then they kind of gave it to everyone else for free.
Yeah.
Just by designing the clubs that way. And, that's kind of what you've benefited from there, Sam, is you've kind of got this, this ball flight now that's it's not the ball flight that a 20 handicapper has.
No, it's really nice.
In this part of the bag. So it's really easy to hit in, high launch, high spin, ball speed protection on the hybrid head.
I know. And miss hits were still good, and 4,000 ish, or sorry, close to 5,000 spin versus under 4,000. For him going into a green, under 4,000 with a 4-iron is not going to stop.
Well, we look at how the green will receive that ball via this angle of descent here, 38 degrees versus 47.
That's like night and day.
It's night and day.
Yeah.
It's night and day. You know, just generally swinging the club, Sam. How did it sort of feel and that sort of thing?
It felt really good. Felt comfortable.
Yeah. Made life a little easier.
Didn't feel longer.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought it would feel
Weird.
I thought I was going to have those banana shots again.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to happen.
Huh.
And what I liked about it was obviously even my fat shots went
Almost a full distance.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 yards short, 15 yards short, right?
And for you mentally, just knowing that a club is more forgiving, you're going to hit a better shot regardless because you're less afraid.
Yeah.
Everyone's the same way. The more you fear the miss, the worse you're going to hit it. So if you know, your 4-iron, you probably were on the course thinking, if I hit a bad shot with this, it's going to be really bad. Now you know with that it's going to be a manageable shot.
Yeah. The thing with hybrid is, as well, all different types of lies. This is going to be great.
Interesting.
So, you know, if you get the ball, Sam, sitting in the rough a little bit, try going after that with a 4-iron. It is tough.
Yeah.
Like that tall-faced, quite straight-faced iron, you're going to have a hard time getting that ball to have any kind of flight, you know, not just kind of dribbling it out. With those things, they will come out, you know, that lower profile head will cut through, wider body will cut through that rough, and it'll be a lot easier.
And how many times have we've been on the course and you've been in the rough with a 4, and I've told you, don't do that.
Yeah.
You've done it anyway.
Yeah.
And you've had a bad shot because it's just impossible. I don't hit long irons out of the rough ever, unless it's really tiny, short, kind of fluffy rough. But that'll be, as you say, it's more versatile for him to hit different shots on the course.
Okay, good. I mean, I think that was a nice little kind of sample size of what we would sort of do with someone, you know, like Sam with his long irons, make life a little bit easier for him, just kind of starting to take the pressure off his game a little bit.
For sure.
Driving it longer, better second shots, all things that are going to, you know, combine to make a better overall game.
Yeah, and generally speaking, this iron versus hybrid fit, you'd see a lot of similar results in your fittings. This is generally what would benefit someone in that handicap range.
Exactly, man.
Very cool.
Exactly. Guys, hope this helps and hope that this gives you some food for thought for yourselves and maybe how you can balance the bag and your buying choices with regards to maybe what your longest iron needs to be and how you transition into the hybrids and that type of thing. So I hope this helps, and we'll see you again soon.